What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You already know what it is. It's your guy, something. Hit the keys. We are starting a new series on the channel where we're reaching out, and me and CL, we're going to be interviewing all kinds of different producers, artists, engineers, getting their takes, trying to help you guys out as far as what you can do to do better, maybe some tips that they've done in their life to get them where they're at, maybe just some cool stories for them, but all that stuff. And so this is going to be the first installment of this. We're going to try to give you these at least once or twice a week. So me and CL are partnered here. He is a permanent fixture on the channel. You guys know I've interviewed him before. He is a Billboard producer, a Grammy member, all that good stuff. I've already given him all his flowers. So say what's up to the people real quick, CL.
What's up, my people? You know what I mean? So we back. Like I said, man, this is very dope. Just giving this vibe to the people who really giving out flowers more than anything. You know what I mean, to the producers in the industry and engineers who've done so much for this game and doesn't necessarily you don't see their faces behind some of your favorite artists and entertainment in this industry. So we're excited to bring this to the table, man. And hey, go ahead and introduce who we're gonna introduce, my guy.
All right. Well, we're here today with a very special guest. I am honored. We have Jason Koko Bridges in the building. If you do not know who he is, he was outside, or he's outside, but he's been outside forever. This man has placements, created Shake Your Tail Feather. We all know what we were doing when that came out. When we heard the boop, boop, Bad Boys, we all knew what time it was. You know what I'm saying? Come here, girl. We all knew what time it was. He's also produced for Nelly. He produced over and over again, you know what I'm saying, with Nelly and Tim McGraw. He has placements with Bubba Sparks. He has placements with NBA Ballers, Tech Nine, Steve Stone. This man even produced a beat for Tyrone Woodley and Wiz Khalifa. I mean, I could talk for hours and days about this man's accomplishments. For me, y'all know I don't normally fanboy out on this channel, but I'm from the Midwest. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Omaha. I was born on Scott Air Force Base right out of St. Louis. My family's from St. Louis. So for me, this is a big deal. So I just want to introduce Koko and just say thank you for coming on the platform, my guy. And we got to get you the flowers you deserve.
Sir, definitely.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a long road, and I'm still loving what I do, and I still got that dog in me. So I don't think I'll be stopping anytime soon.
We don't want you to stop no time soon.
No,
so, yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop. I don't know if we're allowed to say that anymore, but I'll still say it. It's part of my lingo. You know what I'm saying? Sue me if you want to, right? So let's talk about a few things. So I've watched some interviews with you, and normally I like to get in, just talking about things, but I watched an interview where they asked you how you first started making beats or how you made that Bad Boys track, right? And so I don't want to give away the story because I've seen it already. But in your eyes or your emotion, how did you get on that track? How did you make it work?
I mean, just one day, I had just started learning how to make beats. I think I found my first beat CD the other day, and I can't play it in any CD player for some reason because it's so old. I guess the format or whatever. But anyways, I was that was probably like, it was within my first batch of beats because it all fit on the CD. So it was like maybe 20 beats. We had band practice one night at my homie's house, and Nelly and Ali came by and was going through beats, and basically they were just skipping through and just, yay, nay, whatever. They just didn't really seem too excited. And at the end of it, I just gave it a shot and was like, I started making beats now, whatever. And they're like, go get it. So I went and got the CD in my car and maybe had 3 beats on it. And one of them, the very first track was Tail Feather. So I came down and popped that in. And as soon as that came on, they looked like they won the championship. So I had no idea the trajectory of it or how big it was going to be, or I didn't even know anything about a movie. So I couldn't even tell you why I put that siren in the beginning for the intro, but it just worked.
Yes,
and then,
it definitely worked.
History from there, man. It's just, I hit the ground running at an early part in my career. I would say I wasn't even ready to show people a lot of beats. That's how new it was for me when I placed that.
That's crazy because I see it behind you, that Bad Boys.
Oh yeah.
That's fire. That's crazy.
They gave me a little sippy cup. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh. Hold on, show that one more time for the people. One more time, if you could show that one
yeah.
more time.
So this
Wow.
is the Grammy Four-Tail Feather or whatever. My first track ever placed. Got the honor to get that for best collaboration. So they don't do that category no more. I think they stopped in 15. But yeah, man, just for whipping up a beat before work and almost, you know, not saving it. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, no, that's definitely God with you with that one, man, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
So what I think is kind of dope about your story is that, you know, I talk to producers and people all the time, obviously. But everybody else, it's not that easy of a journey. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't just stumble into, you know what I'm saying, a number one hit. And so it's kind of dope because it also gives you, it lets you see that there's so many different ways that you can get on if you're really trying to grind. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like you could have easily been like, I'm not gonna play these niggas these beats because they ain't fucking, they ain't messing with nothing else that's been played.
Almost happened like that because my situation's a little different. Like I came up underneath one of my best friends, J.E., who basically did country grammar. I was there when he was DJing, not even making beats, and then I saw the process of him starting to learn how to use the MPC and find his way around the notes. And then one of my other homies, Wally, so collectively we're Basement Beats. Them two made it before me, so I had a good jump start on everybody just being around. And I've seen Nelly and all them when they came into the studio the first day. So I was really just around the right people, right time. So that night when we were going through beats or whatever, I almost got gunshot because to me, they were my peers. And if they're not like gravitating towards any of their tracks to where they're so excited, I felt like, you know, I might not have the one or two or whatever it is. So I almost didn't speak up, but I did, you know what I'm saying? And luckily, you know, the rest is history. But yeah, my situation's a little different than just coming out of nowhere, you know what I'm saying? Because I was around people already with the momentum. So it was very fortunate because I started off rapping. I wasn't even confident in making beats at first.
That's me too. That's me too. You know what I'm saying? That's me too, you know?
Yeah. So quick question, brother. So before we kind of just get deeper and deeper and deeper, can you kind of tell us where you from and kind of where your musical inspirations came from and how production came in? Then how did you meet, like, how did you and Nelly, like, you know, hit it off like that? You know what I mean? Where he just started needed Koko sound, that Koko sound, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I started making like just the musical part, just rapping at parties or whatever. And my homeboy J.E., that was a DJ at the time, we really just had fun doing it. We had that common interest in music between all the three of us. And, you know, when he started making beats, we seen it was possible. And like I said, from the day one, when Nelly and the Lunatics came into the studio, I was there.
Okay.
And it was exciting for my man J.E. because the Lunatics at that time, we were big Wu-Tang heads and all that stuff. Yeah. I'm born and raised in St. Louis, so we're kind of in the middle of everything and got all the inspirations. But really, St. Louis is a Southern fried, you know, I would say Atlanta type city. You know what I'm saying? Just on the music scene. So, but with us, we didn't have, you know, we wasn't gravitating just towards one sound. We loved the Wu, we loved Scarface, we loved this, that, and we kind of had like a melting pot of sounds that we were inspired by. And then when, you know, the Nelly thing just happened, like I said, I just spoke up and just happened to started making beats. There was a group that night when we were leaving band practice. Nelly was interested in the group I was in too. It was like a Linkin Park type group. I was the rapper, my homeboy was singing, and, you know, J.E. was a DJ, and we had a couple other band members, Jeremy and Matt and Brian, and we had a group called Steadfast. And that was really the night. That's why we were there. And then they started listening to beats after the band practice. But yeah, so my music's always been there for me. I've always loved it. And it was always the beats first over the lyrics for me because I just love the instrumentation of everything. But like I said, back in them days before I even know how to sequence a beat on the MPC or do anything, I wasn't confident that I could do music. So when I see my two best friends coming up, get their shine, I had to figure it out quick where I fit in and when my moment was going to be, and it just so happened to be making music. So something that I had no idea I was going to do in my life. So it's kind of crazy. I planned on being a firefighter, and then, you know, this is what happened.
You plan on being a firefighter, and then you changed your career path to just making fire. I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You know
It
what
all
I'm
makes
saying?
sense. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It worked
You know
out.
what I'm saying? Firefighter, pyro beats. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah,
all makes
that was
sense. You know what I'm saying?
pyro beats.
Yeah, it all makes sense. It all makes sense.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it. So so you said that you were in a band and you were the rapper, you had a singer and all this other stuff. Did you, before you got into, the MPC and playing on the MPC, did you play any other instruments like a guitar, piano, anything like that? Or did you just crack right into the MPC and that's your first instrument?
Nah, I'm not musically trained in anything. I'm self-taught on the piano, and I'm no Beethoven by any means, but I can find it, you know what I'm saying, in the production world. But like if you ask me to play at a bar for an hour or two, it's not gonna
Right.
happen.
I get it.
But I got the ear, I got the magic is, whatever you can think and you make it come to, life. That's the trick, right? Whatever you're thinking in your head and you just make it come to life. That's the producer. And that's what I've been blessed with being able to do for the last 20 years. So, but yeah, I'm always learning, man. There's no ceiling to this production game. You know what I'm saying? Like the only constant thing in this game is change. And like, you got to stay on your toes and got to stay doing collaborations and got to travel and create opportunities. And you have to keep your ears sharp, whether it's working with your homeboy that's in a genre that you're not even comfortable with doing. Sometimes just the networking part of it's a hustle. I mean, it's a lot that goes into this nowadays too, especially with all the social medias and
Right.
all the avenues and stuff like that. It's a crazy world, man. It ain't like when I first came in, for sure.
So with that, sorry, just take over, CO, but I want to piggyback on what you just said.
Ask anything.
So I talk to a lot of people. I'm not here to call nobody out. I rock with all the people that I rock with, right? But I hear a lot of maybe older producers who are still stuck in like 2000 and they don't want to do anything social media, and they like steer people away from doing social media. They're like, you should just focus on the music. You should focus on the music. But as me and CL have talked about before, it's wouldn't you think that it would be smarter now at this point to build your brand, and then you can leverage your brand to work with other people? Would you agree that that's maybe a better technique, or just focus on the music and everything else will come?
You talking about with me?
Yeah. What do you think would be a better?
Social media is definitely, I mean, if you can get through to the person and get the honest ear and listen to what you're trying to say. Like if I don't know someone and I just reach out, that's the thing. Like, you sometimes you hit or miss with people honestly reaching back out to you or even seeing it. You might end up in their, other kind of, what is it called, the primary or whatever on Instagram. And I never check that. So I have no idea. Or hidden messages, whatever it is. But yeah, I think it's an avenue we didn't have coming up. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was harder to reach out like that. Now you got the world at your fingertips. So yeah, I think it's very crucial. I've done a lot of work just on the humbug on some DMs. So, I mean, It works.
No, I wouldn't argue that. I wouldn't argue that. So, I do want to ask you, because you said something earlier about collaborating with other people and getting out of your comfort zone and messing with different genres and stuff like that. That kind of takes me into my next question, actually, is, bro, how the hell did you make Over and Over Again? And Nelly and Tim McGraw make one of the biggest crossover songs in the history of music. Because it's really one of the biggest crossover songs.
Yeah.
And maybe because you're part of it, you don't see this part either. But that song opened up so many more eyes to hip hop in the 2000s and brought in so many more fans to the culture. So can you tell me like how that came about, and how you made that work, how y'all collaborated on that one?
Honestly, I mean, that I was going through a rough patch with the relationship at that time, and my homeboy, one of my best friends to date, his name's Jimmy Hargrove. He came over one day and I showed him the Tupac Never Had a Friend Like Me off of Gridlocked, and I love them guitars and how they bended, and it was just like probably to this date one of my favorite Pac songs. And I asked him, if I was like, yo, do you have anything like this? And he's like, I mean, I got something like it, but it ain't the same. So I'm like, well, just play it. And so he played it, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. We'll just lay it down and see what happens. And so we did the first version on an MPC, and it was just rough, just the loop basically. And then we took it over to the real studio, and everything that you hear on the recordings live. So when we went out to LA and we was working on Sweatsuit, I had that version, and I kept putting it on a CD and just kind of sliding it in there as like a, just like a left field track. Maybe he'll think of something to do with it. And I remember him saying that he loved it and didn't know what he wanted to do exactly with it, but he loved it enough to keep going back to it or keep it on repeat and listening to it. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I came back to St. Louis for a second, and I actually got a call from my publisher. Ludacris wanted to buy that track for his artist. I want to say the dude's name was Lil Fate. He was on Pussy Poppin', whatever that song was.
Yeah.
So he wanted to buy it, for whatever. And I was just like, I kind of like bullshitted. And I was like, I mean, nah, it's already sold, but it really wasn't. I just was gravitated towards the idea of Nelly using it for something. Right. And so, I don't know, we went back to LA, we cut a couple more tracks for Sweatsuit, and then we came back to St. Louis again. And he called me in the morning, like 2, 3 in the morning. It was like, just come to the house and bring some more beats. And I'm like, okay. So I'm looking at the time, like, damn, it's okay. Serious, I guess. So I loaded up some stuff, went out there, and he had that written on his dry erase board saying finished song with Tim McGraw. And when I asked him about it, he's like, oh shit, that's the song. That's the country beat. And I was like, okay. So he played it, and yeah, we were just like, at that time it was just Nelly's voice, because Tim didn't really write anything. He just sang what Nelly did.
Right.
But just, Tim's influence on it and being in the video and supporting it and stuff like that, that song had a major impact on crossover stuff. I mean, it did very well on a lot of different charts, you know what I'm saying? And that's when you just know, like, man, we really did that one. So that never was planned, if that's what you're asking. It just kind of happened that way.
That's how it happens a lot of the time, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I had no idea about sitting down making a country rap song for Nelly. I had no idea.
That's dope. So that's kind of crazy now, listening to you actually talk about your certain things that you didn't realize the Bad Boy soundtrack thing was about to happen. You know what I mean? And you didn't realize this Tim McGraw and Nelly record was going to happen. So it's like, you be getting some wins off the limb, it sounds like, man.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to show up every day, man. Like, because you never know. Because, yeah, a lot of this game is talent, but talent gets you so far. Like, the networking and actually showing up and being in the right place at the right time is really the sauce on everything. Like, not a lot of opportunities in St. Louis. So me just, I always got to travel. I always got to do this. I always got to send stuff out. And, it's really just creating opportunity, man. And that was just one of them joints where if I wouldn't have put it on 3 beat CDs that I gave them, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you liked it or not. You're going to hear it again. You know what I'm saying?
You're going to take this work.
Yeah. And then once I seen that he kept playing it again and again, that's when I was just like, okay, cool. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Like them, yeah, on them slides, I get them W's on them out of nowhere places, you know what I'm saying? So that's really helps.
I totally get it, because me coming from Oklahoma City, we understand that vibe. We have to get out that shell, man, and get out that circle, the square, I should say, and get out and make things happen for yourself. That's kind of how I had to, start making a name for myself, slowly but surely, still building. But just for the short, small career that I've had, I've been very blessed to work with a lot of different artists and work with athletes and stuff like that, just by getting out to the city, man, and trying to go get it. Who were some of your influences, as in like production wise? Like, who was that producer that you grew up listening to? Like, yo, this.
I mean, growing up just listening to music, man, I was I guess I started really, really tuning into rap around 3rd, 4th grade, and I remember bugging my mom on the Columbia House CDs, like how you got 11 for like a penny, and then they charge you like $30 or something for each CD after. It was Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince and Beastie Boys' License to Ill. Those were the first 2 CDs that I got, because I used to see their videos on Rap City with Fab Five, and I just was blown away by, like, damn, like just the music part of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what got me. And then just growing up, as a teenager, first getting your license and driving around all the time, I listened to a lot of rap, a lot of Scarface, a lot of Wu-Tang. So I would say in the early days, Primo, RZA, Beto, and Mike Dean. That's who was doing a lot of rap lot stuff. But that's all that. Dre, of course. I mean, that was my go-to. But yeah, I was all around, man. It wasn't just, like I said, it wasn't one coast, it wasn't one city. I was I was fortunate enough to have a nice mix of, just different rap music from mutual friends, you know what I'm saying? And that's what brought us together.
I think coming from where we come from as well, having those different genres in our ear because we didn't have nothing specific in our areas growing up. You know what I mean? So I always say you from Los Angeles and stuff. You got your Snoops and Dre's and Ice Cubes, NWAs, and New York. You got your, so forth, so forth. Coming from the Midwest in the middle, speaking from my city, of course, we didn't have that, certain sound of genre. So we did the same thing. I had East Coast sound, West Coast. We have people listening to South, Midwest. So it was just like a whole bunch collective of music. So I understand what you're saying right there for sure.
It was crazy because like even before Nelly in St. Louis, I felt like St. Louis was like a really like gangster, like I guess when like Master P and Hot Boys really took over, that's how it sounded in St. Louis.
Yeah.
But there was a major or two artists before Nelly, a guy named Silk Smooth. I couldn't even explain, like he wasn't on no gangster stuff. Kind of like a party vibe, but like he was actually the first one I can remember that had a deal with a major deal.
Right.
So, but yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I think St. Louis was just really Southern Fried inspired. You know what I'm saying? Like the bounce of the hi-hats and the 808s was really just running through here heavy.
Bro, St. Louis is different though. I don't think people understand that either. Like, it's just different. It's a different vibe. Like when you go to, I'm not trying to, by no means am I casting a negative shadow on St. Louis because understand my family's there. I was born on the other side of the bridge. My grandma still lives in Belleville, all that shit, But St. Louis is different. It's like you always got to have your head on a swivel. But if your head's on a swivel, people fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not trying to, I don't know how to explain it. It's grimy ass city. But if you're doing the right things, you can get all the love in the world out there, and you never have to worry about any grime if you put yourself in the right places. And so I feel
it's
like
crazy how this city, like, we got a lot of talent here, man. And like, I don't understand why this city hasn't been a hub for music. And I'm not talking about just the people that you know of, like the Chingies, Nellys, Jaquans and Hueys. I'm talking about like the Metro Boomins and the Pizzas and Chminos. There's so much talent even that's not even signed right now in this city that is crazy, man. Like just on the production and artist level. So this city is really a great city to be bouncing around in studios with because you get it all, like I said. But like there's a lot of talent here, man, and I don't get why like we're not really like just pouring out more than what we've been showing.
I understand that point because I'm not trying to compare Omaha to St. Louis as far as music production, but there's a lot of dope artists in Omaha, right? So you got like King ISO, he's out there working with strange music and stuff right there. Obviously that's me and CL's boy. He's on CL's CD and stuff, but I was on a label with ISO for a while. Me and him used to do a bunch of shows and stuff like that together. But then you have like the St. Mike's, who a lot of people don't know who he is, but he's this battle rapper. He's battled on URL and all these other platforms. And I bring those two up because there's a bunch of other rappers in the city that are as dope as them. And so it's like, I feel like that's a lot of these cities, like St. Louis is, I know St. Louis is like that because I've been out there and rapping and doing stuff out there, but like Kansas City's like that, Dallas is like that. Houston, every city's like that. But I don't know how we, to your point, I don't know how we break out these artists that are super talented, because they should have more shine than the people who aren't as talented. We're getting a lot of shine right now. We all know what a dope rapper is. We all know what a dope MC is, right? There's a lot of people who aren't dope out right now who should be signed that are signed. But it's about trying to figure out how to, I think part of what I want to do with this platform is get artists on and get other people on and start shining light on other people. Obviously, you don't need me to shine any light on you. You know what I'm saying? But that's kind of why we wanted to start these podcasts, is because we want to put y'all's faces out there. We want to start breaking other people. Like I'm not really here trying to get a deal or do anything like that. I'm cool in my zone. I'm cool with what I do. You know what I'm saying? I get to wake up every day and enjoy my life. God's blessed me, put me in a good place. So now can I help other people out? And so that's kind of why we wanted to do these interviews. And we wanted to kind of get like other perspectives from people like you who have been in the industry or who have done things that we could all only just dream of, working with artists that we could all just, dream about working on. So I got a few questions I like to ask. In every one of these, I know you only got a little bit of time, so I got to make sure I get these off. I can probably tell the answer, but analog or digital?
Now digital because it's just convenient, but analog sound is killing it. But
Yeah.
the convenience, digital. You know what I'm saying? Of course. But it's kind of like saying real DJ carrying the vinyl or Serato, and then you say
Right.
Serato, you ain't no real DJ. You don't know what it's like to be carrying milk crates and breaking your back. Like, I get it, but man, that's what I'm saying. You gotta be tuned in and just with the times. But
Yeah, you
if I
definitely got
can
to
pick,
go.
it's digital. I wouldn't say, oh, tape. Go back to tape or go back to ADATs. Like, nah,
Yeah.
ain't doing that.
See, here's where I'm torn. Here's where I'm torn with this conversation because I make most of my beats in the computer, and software and all that other stuff, but I have all kinds of gear and stuff. I prefer the sound of the gear because you really can't. I feel like you really can't tell if you start messing with the stuff. You're tweaking. I feel like a saw on that Take 5 is better than any saw wave that I have on any program that I have, right?
Yeah,
But
it's more rich and just
right, just thick. But I feel like I agree with you. The easiness of just popping open a plugin, my MIDI keyboard's right here. You know what I'm saying? I can tweak everything, and the computer is underrated. So I always ask that because I'm both. I'm literally both. So I guess since it sounds like you kind of use both, I got to ask you, what would be your desert island piece of gear?
I mean, I honestly, the MPC 3000 is what I came up on.
Okay.
It's an essential piece. I had two. I got one still. But yeah, that or I mean, honestly, just the laptop that's fully loaded, man. I can't really like downgrade that.
Ready to go.
Ready to go, fully loaded. Let's go.
Well, I was going to ask then from there if you had to have a desert island plugin. Well, we'll say it's instrument. So you know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like, damn, I need this compressor. Or, damn, we'll just say an instrument. If you had a desert island instrument.
Man. I mean, there's so many different things in my grab bag, but I mean, like my go-tos are I love messing with effects tricks. The halftime has always been cool for me just because I know it's probably overused, but like there's so many different layers and like landscapes you get out of just messing with stuff and then using the original sample on top of the halftime just to get more. I don't know. I've came across a lot of good stuff doing the halftime stuff, but I mean everybody's gonna say atmosphere, saying something like that. But it just depends on what you use and how you use it. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember when Fruity Loops was a thing where people laughed at it. Now it's a norm. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But back in the day,
That is
how you used it. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Perfect example is a guy named Wishmaster was one of my producers back in the days, and that's what he was on. And everybody used to kind of like laugh at him, but he had that shit.
Man, I remember when the Fruity Loops was the Bible. It was like the Bible series or whatever. You know what I mean?
But now I've never even known Fruity Loops, but now I know they can do so much, and it's
Oh yeah.
Kids are just with it. You know what I'm saying? And fast.
Yeah.
That's my dog. Honestly, that's my dog choice. So I use FL Studio to make my beats in, and then I record all my vocals into Logic. And then if I'm sampling stuff and I'm sending stuff out to different places, I use Ableton. Like I use different DAWs for like different stuff. So if I'm going to record, a guitar or synth or something into the computer, I'll use Ableton. So I'm kind of like more of hybrid there. But I want to ask you this. So I don't know if you know about this plugin yet. So if you like Effect Tricks, because I like Looperator more than Effect Tricks. They basically do the same shit, same company.
Yeah.
Have you used Infiltrator 2 yet though?
No.
You need to go get Infiltrator 2. It's like $79, but it's like, since you use Shaperbox and stuff like that, it's like Shaperbox on steroids. So it's got like 32 different effects that you can use in there. It's got a sequencer, so you can sequence all the effects like Effect Tricks, but you can do so much with it. It's got all the LFOs that you can draw and all that stuff in there. It's literally the best effects plugin. This is what I do. I would recommend checking that one out.
Yeah. Shaperbox is cool too. I ain't been in there.
Shaperbox is cool. I've been using that forever, but I switched to Infiltrator too from Shaperbox,
Yeah.
So
lately, I'm not gonna lie, like the last 6 months or so, like I've been really in doing session bands and a lot of country pop, a lot of country like rap even. Like I'll program the drums and 808s and stuff and then bring in like, cello players and guitar players and stuff like that and kind of mix them in. But a lot of it hasn't been really a whole lot of special plugins for me lately, just besides the EQing part of it. But yeah, I need to get more into that.
Well, what we need to also get more into.
His gear, he be having all kind of gear, man. I'd be like, what you talking about? What you have?
Yeah, no, that's like what's that producer grind? I watch that like all the time, and they be dropping gems.
Yo, shout out to producer grind. They do be holding it down for the producers.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna hold you. They do a good job of holding it down. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure we hit on this before we go. I know you got to go here in a second. But tell everybody what you got going on in the future or what you got coming out here pretty soon. I definitely want to let you get a time to talk your shit. You know what I'm saying? Talk your shit and don't be nervous, you know.
Like I've been going back and forth to Nashville probably once a month. I probably need to get a spot in Airbnb it when I'm not there, but like that's how often I'm there. Working with artists, working with writers, trying to get a new publishing situation. It takes a lot of going back and forth, but I'm finally at the point where I'm at the big boy like artists and really getting into the meetings and sessions and stuff like that. A lot of that is, been collabing a lot. My workload, I can't do it all. So like CL or, I'll go through Bankroll Got It. They're my good friends. This guy Legal, whoever I know is good at certain things, I'll reach out, send me loops.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Man down. Cold Blue.
I just know who's good at what. And if I'm going into a situation where I'm like, all right, I'm working with this artist, I need a bunch of this. You know what I'm saying? I'll start doing what I can do, but then I'll reach out. I'm not scared. There's plenty of landscape to get on a track, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm for the win anyway. I'm for helping people and putting people in situations. I love seeing people. We're all in this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not greedy at all. And like I said, I just can't do it all by myself sometimes, especially with my workload that I got going right now at the moment. There's like 6 or 7 projects literally, and I got 2 or 3 of the whole projects. So it's like, and then on top of that, sending out beat packs. So it's like, man, like there was 2 of me, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I would just say, the collaboration part's big. I've been doing a lot of that lately. And just kind of tuning in.
And I could vouch for him on that, man, because I actually reached out to him, man, and he's always been like humble. I mean, and just not one of those, just keep you on red and just going with your day. You know what I mean? He reached back out to me. He showed me so much love, man, and he's just been somebody just like I said, there's such a great humble spirit just for the. Which a lot of these guys who don't even have a stature or even things that you have gotten in your career, the way they act is kind of like, man, you know what I mean? And I ran across a lot of that. So for you to be the spirit that you have, bro, that's also, I feel like, why you always winning as well, man, and keep on winning as well, because you got to have that heart and that spirit still, and just and I appreciate you for that, man, for just talking back to me. Right. That gives me motivation.
A lot of these people that don't that leave you on red, or that don't want to collab, or they don't really talk back to you, or whatever the case is really not their fault, bro. Because at the end of the day, they might be scared of like an opportunity to get taken advantage of. And they just haven't dealt with that. They're not seasoned to be like, yeah, I actually did reach out to CL. He did give me some fire. We did place a track. A lot of these guys, they might just be on something. I can do it by myself, and I don't really know dude, and I don't want him trying to take head. They just don't know. They're not good at that situation. But once and this is to anybody that's not doing it, do it. You know what I'm saying? And see what happens, because you'll be surprised how many relationships build off of. You never know who you're messing with. You know what I'm saying? Like that person can lead you to this or that or the other, and it's just like that's how this stuff works, man. Like it's just like I said, talent's one part of it. The networking part and getting in there, that's a whole different level if you master that.
Very true.
I could be Beethoven and not know anybody and never place anything.
Right.
And then what's that get me? So
when you guys are watching these interviews, this we had an interview before this one, but it'll make sense when y'all see the next interview, because it seems like everybody that I talk to who does music is saying the same thing that you're saying right now. It's like you have to reach out, you have to try, because people aren't looking for you. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody get on the computer and they're like, okay, man, I make videos and stuff. But if I was a nobody, I'm a nobody. But if you know what I mean, if I was like a nobody who had no following, just because I put out a song, nobody's fucking looking for me, because nobody knows who I am.
My door right now saying go where them beats. Like it's like I got to and really get out there and make stuff happen and shake some trees. and just like I said, circle back with the homies. What y'all got? How can I help? You know what I'm saying? That's always the key. How can I help? I don't want to be a burden. I don't want to not help. I don't want to be greedy. Like, let's win. Because I ain't gonna look cool having a Lamborghini and a big ass house and all the stuff, and then you don't have it. You can't even come over.
Yeah,
right.
I want y'all to
Right.
come over in your Lamborghini. I want everybody to kick it and have fun and really, you know, have success and just have fun at it. Really, at the end of the day, it's all about fun with this stuff.
So
But
any big projects that you got coming out, man, or any of the some dope Koko that Koko Bridges sound coming out very soon that we can check out for? Look out for.
I've been working with this guy Brian Martin, who he's big in the country world, and he's taken on the whole summer with a tour with Morgan Wallen. We did like 3 or 4 demos, and hopefully they get into Morgan's hands, and he picks at least one of them. There's this kid named Clever I've been messing with. He's out of Alabama. Probably known him or heard him on Juice WRLD's album or Justin Bieber. He used to be with Post Malone. That kid's got an incredible presence in his voice. Let's see, Jam Wayne. He's kind of a new face in the country rap world.
Okay.
Looks like a Hell's Angel, but raps like a trap rapper. And I think that's the big, like, what the hell? And people tune in, and he's actually like snapping. Adam Calhoun, one of my friends. He's putting together a couple projects. Dusty Lee and Bubba Sparks. That's about to drop next week, as well as that Crazy Bone project that we're on.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Trying to get all the movie sync placements, man. Like the movie stuff is really a focus too, because that they don't play. You know, they got the budget, and it's really cool to. I've been fortunate enough to have some stuff in movies to where you go to the theater and just, you know, that's me. So that's, and plus they got the bag. You know what I'm saying? The sync stuff is some people I know, that's all they work on. They don't care about being the artist like that.
License. Yeah, I know a couple guys just like that. They just straight syncing, man. But yeah, like you said, man, that Crazy Bone album, man. You know, you on there, I'm on there. So that's like I said, that's really dope. You know, what I mean? To know that I got a on that legendary album with a legendary producer on the same. You know that just takes me to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? I'm gonna talk about.
Be on the last one. Wasn't you on the? I think I was on his last 2.
I wasn't. I was pretty much a lot of my production I did for Bone, because I did a record called Dreams with Crazy and Lazy was on there, and we had Bun B on there on the record. It was called Dreams, but we couldn't push it like we wanted to because it was a sample that we used that it's always something that we could never get it cleared. So it took forever, and it was taking forever. So Crazy Bone and Bun and then was like, just throw it on YouTube. So we just threw it on YouTube. You know what I mean? I wish it did something way crazier what it did. I mean, I think maybe it had 200,000 views on YouTube as an underground type record. But obviously for somebody like me, I wish it was able to really, get out there. But you know what I'm saying? It's all good though. It got a little shine. It got a little shine.
I love to talk about Bone. I've talked to CL about this before. I've opened up for Busy, I've opened up for Lazy, and I opened up for All the Bone before when I was in Omaha. So like 3 different times I've encountered them and stuff, and every time they're so dope, dude. Busy Bone is one of the fucking coolest people I ever met. Lazy's cool too. I ain't knocking none of them, but
I love Lazy. That's my guy right there.
Busy was so
Busy's
wild.
A straight cartoon, bro. Every time I've been around Busy's a straight cartoon. Like something always happens. I've been around him a few times, and it's always been some moments. So it could do.
You ain't lying, because like I said, I did a few tours with Bone, man, because I work with their artist Kane a lot. Like me and their artist Kane are really close friends. You know what I mean? And so he brought me on tour with Bone at least a good 4 or 5 times, and every single time it was just a wildest ride, man. And Busy was only on a couple of them, though. You know how Busy is. He might be there. Most likely, he's not going to be there. So, but it's just genuine love from those fellas, man. Every time they see me and stuff, man. But Koko, man, like I said, I know you on a time. We ain't trying to hold you too long. But like I said, for me, I want to say thank you just for everything. Like I said, what you done for the music industry. Because like I said, you brought classics to the game, not just music. You brought classics,
certified
to the industry. You know what I mean? Certified songs that's going to last a lifetime. And you can't really say that to too many people in this industry. I mean, you make timeless records. I mean, that Bad Boy, Shake a Tail Feathers is gonna be timeless. You know, the things you've done with Nelly and Tim McGraw and all this other, that's
Hot Mirror
timeless
remix.
music. So
Yeah, man.
salute
I
to you.
appreciate that. That was off the shit. Them two big joints was off one beat CD, my first beat CD, and you know I'm trying to get that joint to play because I want to hear the other 18 beats. I forgot about them.
That's
So
crazy.
might be some.
That's the only two that needed to be heard. It's all good.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
You know, that's
good.
that's the two that needed to be heard. So it worked out great.
Man.
Well, I want to thank you again too, as well, man. Because this, for me, this is a fanning out moment. I know it may sound weird and shit, you know, but I mean, I'm from the Midwest. I rock with all that music, all that stuff he was putting out. I've been rocking with that since I was like 20, you know. So I've been rocking with that stuff for the last 20 years. It's just a part of my. It's so. I remember. Let me tell you a quick story, real quick. I'm sorry to drag this out. So when Nelly came to Omaha for a Fresh Fest, right? And it was like, this was probably 2005-ish, 2006, or Sweet Stock is what it was called. It was Sweet Stock. And Nelly and Jagged Edge and everybody comes out. And I just remember we couldn't get tickets to the show. So we had to jump this fence and we had to do all this wild stuff because it's a festival. But my homeboy's sister was like, I've got 3 tickets. I just can't come give them to you. So we were like, well, fuck it. We'll just jump the fence. We'll run over there and we'll get the tickets. We'll be good. So we get in, we go there, and they got tickets to the after show at this place called the Ranch Bowl. So there's like only 40 people can get into the after show, right? I don't know how I came up with one of these tickets, but I come up on the ticket. So we go to the after show, and we're all waiting to get in. And as we're trying to get in, there's this girl trying to holler at my friend, and then she tries to fight this dude. And I'm like the only one who has any sense to break this up. I get arrested, don't get to go to the after party, don't get to meet Nelly. You know what I'm saying? Don't get to meet Jagged Edge, don't get to do anything. That's when I decided to stop being a good citizen. No, I'm playing.
Wait a minute. That was you?
Yeah. Are you? Shut up. I'm about to say, shut up, bro.
I actually got to meet Nelly one time, man. He was down here in Oklahoma one time, and this was when Kevin Durant. I was rocking with them a lot, and they actually took me to. He performed at a casino, and KD and them brought me back to meet Nelly. I actually got a pic with Nelly with me and my cousin, man. And when I say something about Nelly, man, that dude, man, he shook my hand and broke my fingers. That's a strong dude, man. I was like,
he's an athlete, man.
I was like, yo, bro. I was like, yo, my fingers was like this after he got done shaking my hand. I was like, yo, this dude is.
Had you walking around like this?
Yeah, I was like the dude from Scary Movie too, man. My hand was broke. It was
strong arm.
That's a strong.
He loved the casinos, man. He loved the casinos, and like I said, he's an athlete. So, yeah, if you wasn't rapping, I feel like you would be something in sports for real.
Yeah,
I remember him in The Longest Yard. He killed it in that movie. He looked like a running back in that movie.
And he shook hands like a running back too.
Well, he's in The Longest Yard. Remember that song, "Here Comes a Boom"?
Yeah. I guess I could have gave more shots.
It wasn't on the soundtrack though.
What's that?
It wasn't.
But
on
it was
the
in the movie. Yeah, it was in the movie though, because I remember that part. It was like when they're practicing, isn't it right when they start practicing or whatever for one of the first times? I know it's the action scene in the movie because you hear it comes the boom, and then you see Nelly running. I mean, I can remember that. You know?
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Like I said, timeless stuff, man. Timeless.
Yeah. So again, thank you, my bro. Thank you, my guy. What do you got to say to the people before you get up out of here?
Be kind, drink water. Nah, I don't know. I mean, if you're in production game, if you're in this music game, just know it's a long journey, man, and it never stops. Like just stay networking and connecting with people and just be humble and cool. Cause like I said, you never know who the next one is. And if you shit on someone, you know, it'll come back around. I've seen it many times. And it's just music, man. Have fun, you know what I'm saying? Like just goof off and just see what happens. You know what I'm saying? You never know, man. Like it's not that serious. Drop the egos. There's a lot of egos in this game, and there's a lot of people that get hurt when you tell them next beat or nah. You gotta have some thick ass skin in this game, and you gotta just have fun with it, man. That's really it.
That's right.
So it can take you to a lot of places, man. This music game. So.
And where can we find you?
Shit, I'll just be at the crib, bro.
Well,
I mean, mostly I'll be on the IG. I don't really mess with the TikTok. I got a page. You can go to jasonkokobridges.com and just kind of catch up on whatever is going on. But like, Instagram's probably the best spot to hit me. I don't really be on the book or the TikTok. I'm not even on Twitter, bro. Like the social stuff, I keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? But IG is probably the best, and it's Koko of BB, Koko of BB. So
I'll link all that. I'll link all that below in the description as well, bro. That was an awesome answer, though. He said at the crib.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that shit.
I'll be at the crib. You hear me?
I'll be at the crib, nigga. That's what we be doing.
Arms way and just making slaps or trying to.
That's the best way of living in life, man, for sure.
Yeah,
what you got?
Let's all link, man. I know you're always moving around, but y'all know how far St. Louis, make a trip. Let's go.
Hey man, I'm always ready, brother.
Yeah, we can definitely link, because coming to St. Louis is just going to see my grandma. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, for me, that ain't nothing but a thing, I'm in Atlanta.
We definitely make it happen.
I'm in Atlanta now. Yeah, I moved from Omaha to Atlanta. But I mean, it's not really that far. It's just a trip. But we can link, man. I'm not gonna say no. What's that?
Yeah. I'm right down the street, brother. So whenever we can make it happen, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. Well, let's figure it out. We'll make it happen sooner the better. And then, like I said, congrats on being on the new album next week. And hopefully we got some winners on there. I know one's crazy, like a crazy ass beat. It's old, but he revamped it, and we'll see. I ain't even heard it yet. That one.
I've been hearing some stuff on live he be doing, when he does his lives, but you already know it's not the same. You got to hit up you got to hear his speakers, man. So I'm very excited to be, like I said, growing up a Bone Thugs the way I did, and idolize a Bone, and to finally like make have a song with one of my favorite rappers of all time, man. This beautiful.
And he's a good dude,
And he's a great dude, man. Crazy's a great dude, man. Great dude. So once again, man, we're gonna drag you out, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
You good?
I'm going to I guess I'll give an outro. I guess I kind of got to do that, huh? So thanks again, y'all, for checking out the content. We appreciate y'all as always. Make sure you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe, that notification bell, so every time we bring you guys a new video, you could be the first to see. Appreciate you guys as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.